what is beautiful is that she focused on God, on her love for God. And if young people can learn that that's where they're going to find their happiness, is in being close to God and accepting what He wants from them, I think that is something that can change people's lives and make them happy forever.
It was really inspiring to me to know that someone as young as I am was so holy and is now on the path to canonization.
En su enfermedad fue ejemplar, pero con la sencillez de siempre. Hacía pasar bien el rato a quienes iban a visitarla.
Pero a ella le afectó seriamente, gravemente, y fue sorprendente, también signo de heroicidad, la alegría con que vivió y sin darse importancia. Cuando estaba sufriendo mucho.
From miracle workers to martyrs, to those ordinary people living extraordinary lives of heroic virtue, these are the people that make us wonder if someday they might be saints. Maria Montserrat Grases Garcia, known affectionately by her friends as Montse, was born on July 10, 1941, in Spain. She was the second of 9 children born to Manuel Grases and Manuelita Garcia. Her parents were very pious and taught her to have a trusting relationship with God. After finishing high school, which she alternated with studying the piano, she began to take classes at the Professional School for Women, also in Barcelona. She liked tennis and other sports, music, and the traditional local dances, especially those known as sardanas. She had many friends and enjoyed acting in plays. With a few of her schoolmates, she would sometimes visit poorer areas of Barcelona and teach catechism classes to children, often bringing them little toys or candy. Montse also climbed mountains near Ceuta, where she liked to spend her summers. At the Grases home, Montse developed many of the traits she became known for: cheerfulness, simplicity, forgetfulness of self, and concern for the material and spiritual needs of others.
En su casa se rezaba, sus padres les habían dado un ejemplo estupendo a todos los hermanos, y entonces ella pues se iba acercando a Dios. La familia eran 9 hermanos, una familia unidísima, y bueno, era una chica dulce, era muy vivaz, un poco nerviosa, desde luego no tranquila, pero luego muy dulce.
She had a lively and spontaneous personality, and with that, a bit of a temper that her family and teachers recalled that she worked hard on to control, to be friendly and welcoming to everyone.
No le gustaba nada que le llevasen la contraria, y se emperraba bastante.
She had a wonderful personality, very cheerful, very simple. You felt like you had known her all her life. And she was the same, like she had known us all her life, telling stories and laughing.
In 1954, she became familiar with Opus Dei, meaning work of God in Latin, founded in 1928 by Saint Jose Maria Escrivá, to remind all Christians of their call to holiness in their family and work environment.
Her parents were both supernumerary members of Opus Dei.
And they helped her to strengthen her spiritual life and to strive to live the Christian virtues better each day.
San José María insistió muchísimo en la llamada universal a la santidad.
Manuelita encouraged her daughter to visit a center of Opus Dei that offered classes to young girls about the faith. and human virtues. Little by little, she realized that God was calling her to this path in the church, and on December 24th, 1957, after reflecting on it in her prayer and asking for advice, she asked to be a part of Opus Dei. From then on, she made a more concerted effort to achieve holiness in her daily life. Monsignor Fernando Ocaris is the fourth prelate of Opus Dei, following in the footsteps of the founder, St. Josemaria Escrivá, and leading almost 100,000 lay members and over 2,000 priests worldwide.
Todas las realidades humanas nobles son camino de santidad. O sea, hay una universalidad subjetiva de todos llamados a la santidad y una objetiva de que todo lo que nos ha dado Dios en este mundo es camino para encontrar a Dios, ¿no? En ese sentido, la llamada a la santidad en el mundo significa sobre todo eso, de que el mundo realmente no solo es un lugar donde, sino también un lugar a través del cual encontramos a Dios y a la santidad.
In her spiritual struggle, she tried to put in first place the contemplation of Christ's life, as well as Eucharistic piety, devotion to the Virgin Mary, a deep humility, and a determination to serve others. Playing basketball or tennis also became opportunities for being generous with others. Montse strove to find God's will in the fulfillment of her daily duties and in caring for small details out of love. And she spread to many of her friends and family members the peace that comes from living close to God.
Her joy was something that defined her, and also the fact that she was so authentic, and her relationship with God was such a deep part of her, but it was so natural to her to share that with others.
A pesar tantas veces de la monotonía, de la aparente irrelevancia, muchas cosas, las cosas que hacemos, perseverar, poniendo todo el empeño a hacerlas bien, ofreciéndolo a Dios, hay un auténtico heroísmo ahí, en esa perseverancia.
In December 1957, Montse began to experience pain in her left leg. And in 1958, she went skiing with friends at La Molina and injured that leg, which caused more pain over the course of several months, prompting her to be taken in June of that year to a Red Cross clinic for evaluation.
She had been diagnosed Ewing sarcoma, it's a cancer in one leg, and that was very painful, and that she did not have much long to live. There were just a few months she would die. When she heard about it, she asked her mother told her, she asked her mother a couple of questions about it, and said, all right. So she went to her room. The mother went after her because of concern. The mother found her, praying, really, with a crucifix and praying, but peaceful.
Throughout her illness, she never lost her contagious cheerfulness or her desire for friendship, which sprang from her deep interior life and zeal for souls. It was as a result of this that she continued bringing friends and schoolmates closer to God.
La gente no se notaba que cojeaba, por ejemplo, porque tenía un dolor inmenso en una pierna, y ella le quitaba importancia. Nada, es que yo es que hago teatro, ¿no? Decía, ¿no? O sea, no por nada, sino porque en el fondo pensaba que ofrecer al Señor eso que le había llegado, pues no tenía nada de especial.
In November of 1958, Montse was able to travel to Rome to meet Pope John XXIII and St. Josemaria Escrivá, the founder of Opus Dei.
They had asked her if she thought, Encarnita, when she was there, this woman, her name was Encarnita Ortega, that there was any chance that Montse could meet the Father. When Encarnita came back to Rome, she asked St. Josemaria if that would be possible. And he actually said, this is what she told us, that he told her, that's wonderful, I would love to have her come, I would so be grateful, because he had heard about her situation, and he said, I would love to have a chance to talk to her. So he was very happy with the possibility. And so she told us about it, she told us about Montse, about her health, about her parents, what she was like.
He was to give her his blessing, and she wanted to kneel, though St. Josemaria prevented her from doing so. He instead put his hands on her head and made the sign of the cross. It was upon her return home that her condition worsened, and she found she was unable to sleep. She brought many of her friends and classmates who went to visit her closer to God. In her pain, she found Jesus and the Virgin Mary. Those closer to her witnessed her progressive union with God and the way in which she transformed her suffering into prayer and apostolate, in a word, into holiness. Montse offered her suffering for the founder of Opus Dei, St. Jose Maria Escrivá, and for the two popes, John the 23rd and Pius the 12th, who led the church during her illness.
She was very cheerful, very friendly, outgoing. You never think that she was going to be dying within a few months. She was fun. She really was fun. But at the same time, you saw the pain, in little ways.
As her health worsened, she drew even closer to God. In her last moments, she was looking at a picture of the Virgin Mary. Her last words were, "How much I love you. When are you coming for me?" On Holy Thursday, March 26, 1959, Montse died, surrounded by family and friends, in Barcelona.
So when we heard the news, of course, we all had this mixture of emotions. On the one part, we were very happy for her, who we knew she had gotten where she wanted to be. On the other hand, we were sad because we had lost a wonderful friend.
Many people have attested to her heroic and exemplary life. Since then, her reputation for holiness has continued to spread, not only in Spain, but throughout the world.
I think Montse is a great role model for young people today because she really shows how you can really become close to God, even if you're young, especially when you're young. And she shows that she just had so much joy to be alive, and that young people today can imitate her in that.
Y poniéndonos en esas manos, sabemos que nos llevará a buen puerto. ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo sé? Y con dolor, pues se ofrece el dolor y se dejan las manos de Dios, y así las cosas van siempre bien. Yo creo que no se puede decir otra cosa de Montse. Tenía una gran voluntad, tenía su voluntad, cómo no, pero sobre todo tenía esa confianza y ese abandono en Dios.
Many people go to the oratory of Santa Maria de Bonaigua in Barcelona to pray for intercession and ask for help. A large number of favors and graces have been attributed to Montse's intercession, many of them on behalf of young people who solicit Montse's help in their needs.
I seek Montse's intercession a lot. She's kind of my go-to person. I pray to her for my friends and just whenever I need something.
I have her photograph on my desk, and I don't tell her anything. I just look at her, and she knows what I need.
There are four main stages in the canonization process. First, the person is declared a servant of God. Then, when their heroic virtues are established, they're called venerable. When that first miracle is found through their intercession, they are blessed. And then finally, once a second miracle is found, they are declared to be a saint. The cause for her canonization began in 1962, and the informative process ran until 1968, where witness testimonies and documentation about her life was gathered. When, in 1993, the Vatican requested more information, 100 more testimonies were collected, leading to the congregation validating the process in 1994. All the documentation, the interviews, the testimonies, the writings of the potential saint are gathered together in a document called the Positio, which is sent to Rome to be examined by the Congregation for the Causes of Saints. If they find the person to have lived a life of heroic virtue, then the person may be declared venerable. The Positio, or academic position paper on her life of virtue, was submitted to Rome in 1999. The cause remained inactive for some years until 2015, when theologians provided an affirmative response regarding their review. On April 26, 2016, Pope Francis authorized a decree declaring Montse Grases venerable and establishing that she had lived a life of heroic Christian virtue. Should Montse be beatified, following in the footsteps of Guadalupe Ortiz, a chemist declared blessed in 2018, She would be the second layperson and second woman of Opus Dei to be raised to the altars. Monsignor Jose Luis Gutierrez Gomez is the postulator of the canonization cause for Montse Grases and is responsible for collecting testimonies of her life of virtue, as well as reports of favors and miracles worked through her intercession.
Y donde el Opus Dei desarrolla su labor, y gracias a Dios pues es en muchos sitios, siempre hay un recuerdo de Montse. Y entonces se puede decir, ¿está extendida por todo el mundo? Sí. En la causa de Montse, pues los detalles que destacan naturalmente son los de una chica normalísima, muy alegre, deportista, que va perdiendo fuerzas, que va entregando a Dios su enfermedad, su vida, y muere alegre. Y bueno, pues no hay nada. Lo firmé con toda conciencia, en las primeras páginas está mi firma, diciendo que sí, que creo que tienen todo el que quienes estudien este libro tienen en él todo el material que les hace falta para responder a la pregunta de si practicó heroicamente todas las virtudes. Pero heroicamente cada día, dar un paso cada día.
Porque a veces la enfermedad, muchas veces también una cosa, a veces ordinaria, a veces extraordinaria, pero de un modo u otro a todos nos afecta alguna vez, aunque sea levemente, pero a ella le afectó seriamente, gravemente, y fue sorprendente, y también signo de heroicidad, la alegría con que vivió y sin darse importancia. Cuando estaba sufriendo mucho.
The Catholic Church uses miracles to confirm sainthood because it shows that the person is in heaven with God, interceding for us here on earth. As a young and relatively unknown future saint, there is a difficulty in finding reports of miracles, as it is reasonable to assume that she has not yet been sought out for her intercession, as often as some others on the path to sainthood.
No tiene milagro y por tanto no podrá ser beatificada hasta que haga un milagro.
If someday she is canonized, Montse will go down as one of the youngest saints in the history of the Catholic Church, joining such people as Dominic Savio, Maria Goretti, Stanislaus Koska, and the Fatima children, all who died before the age of 20. The Catholic Church only considers cases to be miraculous when it's the cure of a serious condition through the intercession of a singular saint. It must be instantaneous, complete, and lasting, and most difficult of all, there can be no medical treatment that relates to the cure. There have been many claims of seemingly miraculous intercessions through Montse Grases, including overcoming academic difficulties due to being cured from serious illnesses. One such case was of a young girl named Patricia Gutierrez.
Bueno, pues mi hija Patricia nació siendo una niña perfectamente normal, con todo normal, pero cuando tenía 2 años y medio se empezó a manifestársele una epilepsia parcial que perdía el sentido y el control de esfínteres y todo se descontrolaba entera, ¿no? Nos fuimos directamente a urgencias a Sevilla y empezaron a hacerle pruebas. No daban con la tecla de lo que era, empezaron a hacerle resonancia y bueno, ya en la última resonancia pues determinaron que había un tumor cerebral en el hipotálamo. Es verdad que estaba situado en un sitio muy peligroso porque estaba cerca del nervio óptico y había que intervenir. Había que intervenir y pronto, y tal cual estaba programado todo. Bueno, la operación fue muy dura porque duró bastante tiempo, del orden de 5 o 6 horas, a mí me parecieron 24. Y bueno, el médico salió y nos dijo que ya estaba hecho, que era un tumor hipotalámico, sin saber qué consecuencias podría tener luego en la vida de Patricia y que había que esperar a ver qué pasaba. Nunca habían llegado todavía, no habían operado nunca así, de esa manera, ¿no? A los 2 días de estar en la UCI tuvo un bajón porque se le produjo un hematoma cerebral y bueno, y temieron qué podía pasar, ¿no? yo seguía pensando en que la Virgen la tenía de su mano y bueno, yo ahora lo recuerdo y no sé cómo lo viví aquello, porque no lo recuerdo ni cómo pude sobrevivir a aquello, porque eso es lo más duro que puede pasar un padre. Yo nunca le he rezado a los santos en mi vida. Yo soy muy de la Virgen, muy mariana y no le voy a rezar a los santos. Montse conocía la historia de Montse, pero yo jamás le había rezado una estampa de Montse, ni se me había ocurrido a mí encomendarle a Montse nada, de nada. Un tema que lo tenía completamente ignorado. Pero ya digo que ese día que estaba yo en la oración delante del Santísimo, la cara de Montse se me venía a la cabeza reiteradamente, constantemente, y yo no entendía por qué, porque yo no me decía nada, pero a mí la cara de Montse se me ponía en la cara y la veía, le reconocía hasta las facciones. Y yo decía, y por la noche cuando me cerraba los ojos, Montse, Montse, y la palabra Montse Grases, Montse Grases, Montse Grases, yo decía, no entendía por qué, yo no entendía por qué. Y como vi que era algo que no era mío, pues por eso me encomendé a Montse. Y eso fue la historia. Y al día siguiente, pues ya el médico me dijo que parecía que el hematoma estaba bajando y que irían viendo. Todo estaba abierto. Todo podía pasar, todo estaba abierto, ¿no? Pero en un mes que estuvimos en planta se recuperó perfectamente. Y bueno, el médico me iba llamando todos los días. ¿Hay crisis? No. ¿Había alguna crisis epiléptica? No. No había. El médico se sorprendía y me decía, llámame otra vez, por favor, que no me lo creo. No me creo que no haya crisis, esto no puede ser. El cirujano me dijo, dale gracias a Dios que no le hemos puesto una válvula en el cerebral. Yo no entendía qué significaba eso, ¿no? Y dice, esto es un éxito rotundo. O sea, es una operación intracraneal donde no se pone una válvula. Esto es de las primeras veces que nos pasa. Con respecto a los efectos secundarios que podría dar lugar la operación, el médico siempre fue muy claro y muy tajante. No sabían qué podía pasar. Bueno, sí, pues está claro que es un milagro gordo de Montse. Me encomendé a ella, se me puso por delante y a ella me encomendé. Y esto salió adelante con sus consecuencias, pero que ha tenido unas consecuencias tan enormemente positivas para mi familia, no me cabe la menor duda. Es una gran santa.
Someday, if a true miracle is found meeting all the criteria and validated by Rome, Montse Grases will be declared blessed by the Catholic Church.
De que todo lo que nos ha dado Dios en este mundo es camino para encontrar a Dios, ¿no? En ese sentido, la llamada a la santidad en el mundo significa sobre todo eso, de que el mundo realmente no solo es un lugar donde, sino también un lugar a través del cual encontramos a Dios y a la santidad.
I definitely think that it would be wonderful for her to be canonized, because especially for young people, for them to see someone who didn't herself do anything extraordinary. God did it to her, but she took it and she embraced it and she was happy. And I think that's a great lesson. And if young people can learn to have that trust in God, that would be happiness for many.
If she was a saint, then her story could be spread to a lot more people who could seek her intercession and be inspired by her example.
This has been They Might Be Saints. I'm Michael O'Neill. Thanks for watching.